Hi, welcome to my tube. Salutations and greetings. My name is Marge. I'm a Hilkim Path. I'll say it again. I'm a Heyoka empath. In case you don't know what it is, look it up. Go find out for yourself. So, anyway, today's a new day. Anybody feeling bombarded by freaking energetic blasts that don't support their narrative? Like, I feel too good for the storylines that are being passed around right now. I woke up. I had a really cool landing. See, and that's the thing, is I woke up and I thought I wrote all this stuff down, and I did write a bunch of stuff down, but it wasn't the stuff that I thought I wrote down. So let's see if I can remember, because when I transition from my soul sack, from my night shift into my soul sack, I lose stuff. Data gets lost in the transmission. I don't know if anybody's ever dabbled with hallucinogenics, natural Alice. In the 70s, 80s, 90s, they call it Alice. It's really illegal. I'm like, why, man? If everybody expanded their mind... Oh, that's why. Just kidding. That's why it's illegal. Okay. So, mushrooms. Psilocybin mushrooms. You know, and then people get all freaking pretentious and then have to... Oh, ayahuasca, dude, it's all the same stuff. It's all the same stuff. The result... we created, and you know, people can do this stuff without the aid. Without the aid. You can do it in a meditate state. I meditate about an hour a day. I try to. Sometimes the energies aren't fit and I'll just skip a day. Sometimes I'll need like 2 hours. Sometimes I'll do like 45 minutes, have to get mom lunch, and then I'll go back down for another hour just to clear the energy field. See, I always understood it, and it was always presented to me, and I took on that truth as my reality, is that praying is talking to God, and meditate state, that's receiving the data that you need to go. That's why I keep coming up with ideas. Try this, try that, call this, try that, and then oftentimes regular life pops up. Water turned on today. You know. The water bill fight is over after 3 years plus years. I lost track, but that storyline's over now. I still can't use like the sink because the sink leaks, and it's one of those fancy ones, and I just got a text message from a commissioner from an ad. Betty from the Ashley for Marion County Commissioner campaign. We hope you're doing okay. I'm gonna send him a link to this video is what I'm gonna do, and then I'll let them determine how okay I'm doing, because I have reached out to all. I'm thorough. See, I'm thorough. So I would rather ask somebody to their face, please help me and my mom, and them ignore me. And then I have it on record where I said, look, see, this is where I asked for help and the system fails because of who they fucking are and how they feel like that day. That's what the whole world is based on. And some of these motherfuckers feel like having parties with their rich friends where they bring in kids and have them raped by gorillas. That's what some of these motherfuckers feel like doing. You know? So, there's gonna be hell to pay. I don't even feel sorry for the people that are all, that don't happen. They're gonna be the ones ended up in the freaking rubber room because they just have freaking ignored this shit. And it's been people like me. It's been our whole life. This is just our reality. And people are like, that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. It's not real. Because their mental midgetness, their lack of understanding, their tiny little scopes that only see, you know, things like elections, or what else? Sports seasons, all this stuff that is just like, look at this, rather than paying attention to the big picture of what they're doing with all this stuff that you're looking at. Dude, the satanic cult rituals related to the Super Bowl and sporting events alone, man. Shame on all of you. Shame on all of you for buying into it and playing into it. And hey, shame on me for the shit that I bought into too. Working for corporate America, security firms, the military to keep people safe. More than 51% in those organizations of people have caused harm. That's why they got so out of control. And now the administration is teetering that back to the 51% that are just trying to help people. See, because there's a lot in the military. Yeah, everybody loves their military, but think about all the human traffickers in the military all the way up in the ranks, because if it happens on the bottom, it happens on the top. If it happens, it happens, and everybody knows, and all the tunnels under bases. There's culprits and everything. That's the thing, is I don't discriminate. I just look at low vibrational beings, right? That's the thing, is like, that's why I didn't get duped in that Craigslist thing earlier this week. It's because I'm trying to prove that you are who you say you are. So yeah, where's my FDIC reward for, all that stuff? My brother is like, you should let Craigslist know it's a scam. I'm like, everything on fucking Craigslist is a scam. I'm trying to weed out the shit that's freaking decent. Because everything's a scam. Like all these commissioners and all these appointed, all these popularity contests, it's no different than these freaking little girls that didn't get enough attention from their dad, were sitting at the kitchen table wanting to make dad proud, making signs going, vote for Dirt. They're still doing that shit. They're still trying to make daddy proud. I'm doing something. There's only 167,000 people in the city limits of the cities. I paid off a $900 bill on Tuesday. Before early morning business. They just turned it on Friday morning. And they know. They just sit on shit because they're fucking fat, dumb, and lazy. Yeah. And I would be glad to stand corrected if any one freaking city, state, government employee that came up that was fit, and I mean spiritually fit, emotionally fit, and physically fit. Because they don't exist. They don't exist. Because when people live that much in ego that they have, poor people that can't even freaking... The whole reason why I didn't have water is because there was go look back at the whole story. I got a whole playlist. I made a choice to feed my dogs because I couldn't pay for their error that was costing... My water bill went up to over $111 a month. I went down, filled out the piece of paper that says, I'm poor, please help me. They knocked $10 off the bill. And then they tell me things like, you can go down to the church and they can give you a voucher. Why put me through this shit? I'm a goddamn female veteran that freaking was in Operation Iraqi bullshit. How much shit do I need to go through before society says, hey, just live your life? So you know what? I turn it all over to God. And now I paid off the $900, I've been paying it down. It was up to like $1,500. And then since I thought I was moving, you got to clean up the rest of it. I'm not going to leave that bill to somebody else to pay. And, it's funny, is like this morning, I was getting ready because I was going to go in the back yard and wash my hair. So I use a little teapot. I plug the little electric teapot in, get the water hot, and then I dump it in about a half gallon of freaking room temperature water, make it warm, and then I go, and I was like, you know what's funny, Mom? Because that's how I knew that the water turned on, because the kitchen sink leaks. So I can't, it's one of those that you have to push buttons, like to turn on the water on the thing. It's so stupid, I hate it. And I don't have the strength to do it, so I don't use it. And then and this is stuff I told my landlord about before, so at least it's not anything that, I caused. I mean, this is stuff that was problems 3 years ago. I'm like, oh yeah, it's still a problem. and then the drain in the kitchen in the bathroom doesn't drain, so I just leave it off. But hey, I didn't have, it was funny, I got up this morning, I'm like, I'm not gonna go down and get toilet water this morning, I don't feel like it, there's 2 other things right here. So I didn't do it, and then I come in the kitchen and there's water all over the floor, and I'm like, freaking bastards. Then I had to turn off the water, I'm like, and then I was like, and then it occurred to me, because that happened, I cleaned up the mess and everything, you know, and I got to use the water to clean the floor. That was rad. So it's like blessings, you know. And Mom ate a rad breakfast, and then when I went in and then I was like, you know what's funny, Mom? I said, people are so programmed. We're so programmed. Because I'm so used to doing this, I could go in there and take a shower right now. And I said, but you know what? I'm not gonna. You know? And I was trying to make it down to the laundromat today, too, and I don't know if that's gonna happen either. So when I woke up this morning, though, I don't know if I invited God or let people know that God's already in this room. He's already here. I just like to, something I like to say, invite God to the room so people know this is God. But you see how I've been eating my feelings? Actually, I haven't. I don't eat a lot of chocolate, and the cookies that I made, they have, this week are, what are they? They are chocolate chips, but they're salted caramel flavored. So, I don't know. I got this, I guess. Because usually I'll put like little Reese's peanut butters or little baby. I use those ice cream toppings. And then I'll throw, like sometimes I'll use toasted coconut. I'm like the Ben and Jerry of can of cookies. I can't wait to give them away to everybody, you know. So yeah, I'm breaking out. I'm ovulating on the left and the right. I'm cross-ovulating. What did I do with my book? So when I was coming to, it was so cool because I used to live this life that was just designed, you know, I'd get up 5:45 or 5:55, I'd hit the snooze, no, 5:47, hit the snooze one time, get up, put on my bush outfit, my shrubberies, my BDUs, you know, be on base, checking the tools in and having the window up by 6:30, somewhere around there. Because I was the TODO last year, so you got to go through an inventory and make sure every tool is accounted for, because you can't lose tools and parts on the flight line. Bod hazard. So we'd have to do fogged walks. It was so stupid. I hated all that pony show bullshit. Anyway, yeah, everything has its purpose. Anyway, so when I was coming up out of this, for years, I just woke up and would do what I was supposed to do, and then when I moved here, my life stopped, and I couldn't get a job, and then it was like quickly determined that Mom's care was my permanent position from here forth. That, you know, and then I went through rage. I went through this period that I was just freaking livid because this wasn't how my life was supposed to be. I'm supposed to be a professional. I'm supposed to do this. I'm supposed to do this. You know, this is the course of action. And God's like, no, that's not how it was supposed to be ever for you. You just listened to a bunch of other people, and now you're mad about it, you know, because you already knew where your heart and direction was going to be. So you're just mad because you're not getting all the freaking ego shit that comes with, you know, all that outside stuff. And so, you know, and then I got the water shut off, and then so I just learned how to freaking live on nothing and still find joy and happiness. And when I woke up this morning, I know it's a new age. I know it's a new earth. Happy birthday, Ingrid. It's her half birthday. It's my half birthday. It's her full birthday. I'm 46.5. She does hair out in Omaha. I love stylists and people that make people feel better, but it's when they get the stuff from animals and people and stuff that to cheat and it makes you ugly when you do all that cheater stuff, you know. And when people charge their prices too much, that's just cheater stuff. That just takes the heart space out of it, and then it makes you just a freaking Jezebel. Freaking damsels. Freaking harlots. The chicks that use their feminine wiles to freaking gain advantage. You're just as bad as the freaking Credence, huh? Does the rough stuff, Marge. Say hi to Benny. Benny Dessa woke up, Marge. Dessa woke up. Okay? So when we woke up this morning, because I've been up like, okay, let's go. You know, I've been a jerk before. Back when I was freaking hurt and broken. And then I was listening to Jessie Zaboter last night, and she was talking with David Zublick, and they were talking about this Lioness group, these women warriors Lioness group, and I'm like, hey, maybe I'll give them a call even today, or trying to reach out to them. But I don't even think it's a group anymore. I think it was more like a storyline. I didn't see any kind of organization or anything like that, but I didn't really delve into it either. So it's like they're talking about these lioness. People are coming into their lions inside. See, the thing of it is people are coming into their balance, is what it is. So whatever they've been overcompensating in their life up until this point, they're going into the other side. So all the freaking masculines have had to find their feminines. Now the feminines have denied them. They're finding their masculine. So it's just everybody's energetically androgynous. You know, you're your sex, you're your gender, you're your preference, but then we're energetically imbalanced, you know. And masculine energy doesn't have any fucking thing to do with being a man, and feminine energy doesn't have fucking anything to do with being a woman. Because we all got both. It's what freaking people do with their shit. That's what makes you a seedy, nasty bastard or an angelic being. You know? And I was like, it's funny because all these, you know, they were talking about how the lion inside, people are finding the lion inside, and I'm like, you know what? My freaking lion had to learn how to freaking find the tame. That's what my deal is this has taken me 46 years to get rid of to find my tame. And then all these tame people are trying to find their lion, and I'm just like, I feel like I'm a freaking fish running in the wrong stream of consciousness, in the wrong river of flow of life. It's always been like that. Every now and again I meet another fish. You going the wrong way like me? Yeah, okay, let's hang out for a little bit. Cool. And then our currents take us off in a different trajectory. We behold the evil, find the blessings in the darkness. Every evil thing that we see in the world, it's because we got it in us, and we're matching our calamity with calamity out there. Our calamity with their calamity, whatever you want to call it. We spot what we got. So if we got darkness in us, we're only going to attract the darkness. That's why I can't get a gun. People like me I cannot have a gun. Because of words like, live by the sword, die by the sword. Because those words exist, I can't have a gun. I won't have a gun. The only thing I snap is I will shoot a gun and I will fire a gun. I just do not want to own a gun in my own house. Maybe a gun in a lockbox outside in the shed, something like that. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. But now I see I'm a peaceful being. No, I can't have a gun. That's it. And these people have these pop, 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 pop because they like the noises that they make, and they like the sounds that they make, and they like the boom, 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 boom. But when you think about the reality of why they exist and what they're for, I mean, are people really imagining blowing people's heads off and stuff like that, like they do on the video games? Because imagining that and the reality of doing that are two very, very different things, and people are like getting those wires crossed, and now they're taking their imagination and they're stepping, and they're like, oh shit. There's hell to pay. There's hell to pay. Fighting the forces of darkness. Fighting how I struggle with God. I have struggled with God. I have denounced God. I have cussed God out. I have, fuck you, motherfucker. You think you're, just all that stuff. It's just like, and then word on the street is God loves unconditionally, and I'm like, oh, well, that's the trouble. That's where I find, because where the fuck was I ever supposed to learn what unconditional love was? Because, I mean, honestly, I didn't even know what it was, like, feel it as a vibrational frequency until I had my dog, Arthur, my first dog. Yeah, I adopted Artie and Tucker, and they were supposed to be my 2 dogs, and that was it. And then I failed, and then I fostered Benny, and then I fell in love with them. Then I fostered Luna, and I fell in love with her. And then with Luna, it was decided, she's got traumas and stuff, and people don't understand her like I do. She was already an hour from being put down, and I know that if she would end up with anybody else, that she would probably end up being put down, because she smiles and she's pretty, and she'll kiss at your face, but she has a jagged tooth because of abuse. And sometimes people think she's biting, and she's not biting. And then when she gets scared and her brother walks by, she'll wake up because of her traumas, and she'll snap at him and stuff. And then as she realizes where she's at and that she's safe, then that's it. But she reacts, and people don't understand heart space, and they don't care because it's just the dog and all this stuff. But God's gonna make it so, because every day when Mom's like, "Do we gotta move today?" I'm like, "No, Mom, it's not today." She's like, "Just as long as we can all stay together." I go out, and I'm just like, "That's all I'm trying to do, Mom. Just keep us all together." So, anyway, I've struggled with God, but I don't struggle with God anymore. I don't struggle with God today, because what I realized is He gave me the knowing. They gave me, He, androgen, whatever source, gave me the knowing that God is with you in the present. God is that grace, that quiet, that ease in the present moment. And God can't be with you in the past, because the past is in the past, and it is no longer that. It's a dead energy, and the only energy that we tie to it is the emotion that we have in touch with it. And the future, God's not in the future. God's not in the future. God's in the present. God's not in the future. The future is just thoughts and ideas and dreams and revelation and ideas of how things could go. But the thing of it is oftentimes as human beings we sell ourselves short. I've sold myself short a lot in my life. A lot. I still do. I have self-esteem problems. I've had, That's why, when I get scared, I get into action. I get scared. I found out. Well, I don't find the tranny pan in the big red truck. That's why I don't like when people put derogatory terms on anything, because it freaking ruins shit. In the maintenance world, tranny is a lot easier to say in transmission, but then fucking people with their weird agendas have to insult people, and then I can't, it's like, you got to be careful about this because jerks call transvestites or tranny, stuff like stupid shit like that, and I'm just like, I don't have time for that. Anyway, there was about a year ago that happened, maybe even longer, that I was backing into a place, and they had these boulders in these parking lots, and I had an idea where it was, but I misjudged, and when I went in, when I parked, I knew it was there, but when I left, I had forgotten about it, and it hit the underside of the transition pan. So where the transmission goes, it's like the bottom of the truck, and then the transmission pan seals like that, and then where the rock hit, it folded down, it curled the edge of the pan. So there's seepage in there. But the pan's that deep. So it will be addressed. It just will not. So now I have a drip pan under there and stuff like that. And I will call the transmission guy today to see if anything that he can do to whatever. But I think it'll be alright for now. I don't know. It's just one thing after another, Just keep, God just keeps giving me, just go ahead, dude, just take care of this thing, just take care of that thing, just keep taking care of the next right thing, Because if I don't, see, I'm good with staying into action. That's why, that's why I'm a workhorse, all these occasions I've always done, I'm just always looking for something to do, because having conversations with people is just stupid, because mostly people don't want you to know who they are anyway, so they're giving you lines of bullshit. I mean, I've seen it my whole entire life. I call it double talk. That's what I call double talk, is when somebody is trying to get you to believe some sort of bullshit representation of who they are, when clearly they are an entirely different being. And I find it fucking it's like insulting when people are trying to give me airs. I find it insulting. But they do it. They do it. Vote for me. I got my elections. I mean, I can't even believe the people that still buy into this freaking... whatever. 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 Weight of words. Mom and I were talking a bit... Oh, how about this? This is the second time I've seen a video about this guy making light of, like, if you do everything aggressively. Fuck you, aggression guy. Fuck you very much. You know why? You know why I say fuck you very much to this aggression guy? He's on Twitter. Oh, this guy is so hilarious. Oh yeah, I keep watching him. If everybody did everything aggressively. You know what? I wrote on the comment. I said some of us just have a lot of energy, and you know, we have had a lot of really aggressive things happen to us, and so we meet the world in an aggressive way. I said, I guess it's easier to make fun of that. You know, some people put clinical terms on it, like post-traumatic stress. You know, it's like when you come up and you deal with some bullshit in life, you know, it's just more bullshit added to the rest of the bullshit you're trying to deal with. And then when other people come in and put stuff in your way on purpose just because they can, and they're just doing their jobs and shit like that, because people are malicious intent, man. The world would not be the way it is if people were not malicious intent. If they weren't. I didn't mean to get that caught there, but that was kind of cool. So fuck you, Mr. Aggressive. You know, some of us have aggression and we're trying to learn how to, and so your little spoofs and your little mockery and stuff like that, fuck you very much, Mr. Aggression guy. And I'm kind of starting to feel like that about Pockets of the Future. He's really making fun of people. Like Britney and stuff, and her hurts and things like that. And I just like, I used to be that person. I used to be the sarcastic asshole that, you know, not like mean, but so not like the way that people do it now. When I was in the 6th grade, there's a girl named Heather, or 5th grade, and it was the end of the year, and everybody walked single file over to the pizza place, you know, because it was right around the corner, and they had their end of the year awards, and you know, people get to say things, and I was like, I'm gonna miss all you guys in my summer except for you. And I pointed down to this woman, this girl, you know, and she was a girl I hung out with. That's the thing. She was probably the one that I would have hung out with because she lived close and stuff like that. And I could just, and everybody laughed but her, and I always carried that with me. And you don't make fun of people like that. You don't hurt people. And I think about the situations in the world and all the money, and you know, because money became more important than people. So all these people are doing stuff for money, and it's the people that matter. And that was a light lesson I learned when I was 11, and I'm 46. And look at the people that didn't learn this shit when they were young, because look at the shit that they're still doing for fucking money. The weight of words. I'd rather have people talk shit that mean it in the moment to me, and it passes, than those that say stuff they don't mean frequently, like, I love you, and I care, and I'm here to help. It's very, very disingenuous. Hey, thanks for the donation today, Schnookum. Schnooky M. Schnookum. Appreciate it. Received. Much obliged. Much obliged. God bless. People that people that people don't want, the mediocre, can't believe that lengths people would go to get them. Let's see if I can make sense of this. So I was going down this train of thought, of thinking this morning, is that there are exceptional beings in this world that have exceptional extrasensory abilities. Okay, here's the trick. We all have them, okay? Some people just have embraced them, known about them, embraced them, cultivated them, you know, and not used them to take advantage of people, okay? And people that don't have those, you know, don't recognize that they have those abilities and capacities and things like that, they can't believe that people that actually have superpowers, like the ability of telekinesis, I have the ability of telekinesis. Not only do I demonstrate, you know, I do this in real life with people I know in the community. They can verify what I do. So I can show you, oh, I can do this. And it's not the same thing as if you were standing in front of me and you're holding the lighter and I'm doing my and you can feel the lighter go. But these are actual real experiences that people have with me. I get this from my mother. She can do it too. I learned it because we had nothing but time to play around and screw stuff out a couple years ago. I watched a YouTube video. Kid did it with a coconut. Same principle. It's the fluid inside. It's the fluid inside us. We're all magnets. If you cooperate with me, I'll cooperate with you. I come in peace. I'm not here to harm you. Just doing a little party trick is all. Right? But you have all these people in the world that they don't have these abilities, so they say, that doesn't happen. If I had a fucking square foot for every motherfucker that has said, that doesn't happen, or I'm just doing my job, there'd be a lot less homeless people in the world, because me and Mom don't need that much space. I just want a little trailer, man. That's all I want, is like a little trailer with the fence around it so my dogs don't run off. That's it. You know, I don't need a mansion. I don't even need a 3-bedroom house. I just need a 2. We could get by on a 1-bedroom house. See, here am I in linen? Because it's more stuff to clean, and less people are going to come over and help me clean it. I don't want all this space, because there's other shit I want to do. Yeah, I keep it clean, but there's like, people have these big old huge houses. I'm like, I don't ever want to own more than stuff that I'm not going to take care of myself. If what people need to freaking validate themselves is freaking ridiculous. Just stupid. Being present is so hard. Being present is so hard. And that's one of the hardest parts about waking up in the morning is, you know, because I used to wake up and think about my day. Now it's like I wake up and think about this minute, wake up and, you know, love on the dogs as they're waking up, you know, Tucker's being cute, Artie comes in, does twisty butt, you know. And there had been a lot of times that because I was angry and I was mad about my life situation and how I wasn't living it, how other people told me I was always supposed to live it, even though I didn't want to live it that way. You know, I'd get mad. And I wouldn't enjoy the wake-ups because I'd be like, why do you get to be so joyful? I have to get up and go down the creek and get water for the toilet. You're a dog, you know, stuff like that. And I could get all, the thing of it is I learned a long time ago, you don't act like that. And then what I learned since I lived here is thinking is just as detrimental as saying those things. So now I'm just trying to live in love, and it's exhausting, man. It is not easy for me to live in love because I've always freaking gone from up here. I didn't learn freaking love from people. I'm self-taught, dude. Every fucking thing I know, I've had angels along my way to teach me, but it's all because I've sought out this knowledge. It's not because anybody fucking knocked on my door, anybody came up to me and said, hey, I want to teach you what you need to know to learn to be freaking a self-sufficient, emotional, freaking supporting, freaking spirit having a human experience. Ain't nobody freaking beating down my door to give me this knowledge. So I went out and freaking found it myself. And I did get over a lot of shit. And I am past a lot of shit. But you know what? When people fucking remind me of shit, I'd be glad to sit down, because they don't want to know. People don't want to know what's in. People don't want to know what I know. People don't. If they did, they would ask me more about it. I would have a lot more fucking friends than I do right now. That's for sure. I'm always telling people, hey, you want to have a conversation with me? You want to have a talk with me? You want to have I would love to connect. People don't. So I just keep putting stuff out there and trying to find the people that do. We are all like these lives in these. Okay. We are all like these lives in these movies, songs, and books. We've all experienced every incarnation we all experience. We've all had the same experiences. That's why we got to be good to one another. Because if I'm a jerk to the city guy in this incarnation, who knows? Maybe last incarnation, I was the city guy. Who knows? But it's what we're drawn to. That's why Harry Potter was such a big deal. Because that was like the first, to my knowledge, that was like the first series that put so many of what us freaking believers, dreamers, we always knew it, that these were realities, because this is the stuff that we saw in our dreams and in our imagination and stuff like that too. And then somebody encompassed that, put it on a screen, and then that created a world, and that world exists. For every story, there's a world that exists. For every thought, for every idea, for every, you take a left or a right. There's a story if you take a left. There's a story if you take a right. There's a story if you put your car in park, get out of your car, walk across the street. There's a story about, if a plane comes along, freaking drops its landing gear on your car and you don't go nowhere. There's all these different, for every perceiver, which they say there's 7 billion on the planet. There's no fucking way, man. I wonder how many people are really on the planet, because a bunch of liars, a bunch of cheats, a bunch of thieves they've just always told you how things were, and it's always been a lie. You think that their numbers, that the populations of the world are accurate? That's what makes it that much more gross, because there's that much more for people to have enough of everything. There's no way there's 7 billion people on this planet. There's no way. No way. And I base that on my upbringing of just growing up and staring out the window for 11 hours on a Greyhound bus, driving from Central Coastal California up to Redding, and all the traffic that wasn't there, and all the spaces that aren't there. And they stop in all the little big cities, small town. I mean, it's just like, I've been collecting data my whole life, and the stuff that they say don't add up, and the stuff that Donald is revealing, his shit adds up. So people are so into math. So let's see. So that's what shared consciousness, collective consciousness is, And the more people, as soon as more than 51% of the population wants peace and love for themselves, that is going to reflect to the outward world, and this world will change in a very, very, very I want to say exponential, in a very fast way. But people have to make that change within themselves, and I don't know if they're doing it or not. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. I gotta meet people with love and compassion. That was the best takeaway, and I'm gonna end up on this. I was like, Mom, this is, if one thing I've learned in this life, and this is one of the hardest lessons that I've ever had to learn, it's because I didn't get taught on how to be a compassionate, empathetic person. I was born with it in me. It wasn't learning. It's just part of my spirit, and this is validated by my astrological charts, how I've always acted, and one of the hardest things that I've had to come to terms with is that I must. It is my God, soul, and duty. God instills this on me every day, is that I must meet people with love and compassion. And that is very hard for me because that is something that I have not gotten a lot. I'm not saying I never got it. I'm just saying by comparison, it's been an imbalance of what I've given out and what I've received. That I never got. And that is not always easy for me, is to meet people with compassion, because I want to meet people with rage sometimes. And I want to meet people with disdain, and I want to meet people with fury. And then I hear God go, vengeance is mine. Drop it. You don't get it, Marjo. You don't get to be mad. You don't get to be angry. You get to rely on me and sustain your faith in me and know that I will carry this through. It was really cool the other night. Jessie said a prayer for me and Ma. And ever since she said that, I sleep good. I wake good. And I feel supported. I feel supported in ways I've never felt supported before. And that's the thing, is I've never felt support. So based on that tells me the world is different. When I'm feeling things that I ain't never felt before, that tells me that we're in a place we ain't never been. And that's good news, folks. That's good news. So, anyway, that's about all I got for now. I hope you have a rad day. Peace.